Guys, in this video we're going to talk about the XAT phase 1 strategies. Alright, so this is a part 1 of the exam. So XAT, first of all, is always surprising. You never know what's going to happen in XAT. Fine, so be prepared and expect everything and anything in XAT. Fine, one thing is sure, XAT will contain two parts. Part A is your quant, verbal, logical, normal paper like the other exams, and part B will be containing your essay writing and general awareness. So around 1 hour 40 minutes for the part 1 and 40 minutes for the part 2. Fine. So part 1 will contain your normal, but the pattern is not fixed. So you can expect 30 questions of quant or 40 or 50. That's changing every year. Or rather, that's the only surprise factor. So we'll take care of that part in our phase 2 video. Fine. So phase 1 is just giving you an overview of what is coming in XAT, what is not coming. The only thing extra you need to worry about in XAT is the decision making thing. Because decision making is something which is not seen in the other exam. Alright, so let's start with the overview of the XAT paper. Now this is a sample I'm taking, say assuming 100 questions are there. So there are around 35 questions on verbal, 25 questions on logical ability and 40 questions on quant. So that's a kind of a sample overview which I've tried to show here. Alright, so GK 20 questions and essay 1. So 40 minutes for the second part. Fine. So let's go to the individual section now and see what exactly is coming in each and every section so that we can prepare accordingly. Yeah. So now what I want you to do first of all is allocate see the time allocation. Now find out how much time you spend per section and accordingly you dedicate the time. I'll talk about this in a later phase. So bear with me right now. Alright, moving on to the verbal section. Verbal is typically, as you can see in the other exams like CAT and all. So there are going to be 3 RC passages. Fine. The RC 3 passages and parajumble, fill in the blanks, analogy. So typical paper like your CAT. Find around 10 to 12 questions based on reading and another 8 questions based on non-reading. So this is just a sample to show you. This will be a kind of a breakup of your quant section. Of the verbal section. Alright, moving on to the analytical reasoning section. Reasoning will contain 2 parts, decision making, which will be there, and the typical logical puzzles and coding decoding. Now, something to think about this, there's no individual question like you get in CAT. They're all sets. Even coding decoding, the direction sense, they're all set based question in which there are 2-3 questions based on that. So you have to be very much conscious about your accuracy because otherwise you might end up doing it wrong. Alright, so please take care of that part. Now this is sample of the decision making set which you can expect. So pause the video and try to solve this question. Fine. Now if I want to solve this question, if you look at the option, there's a car making company which have got some manufacturing bugs in the system. So will they apologize and fix up the? Yes, possible solution. Number 2, don't tell the customer. Now obviously this is not done. Anything negative is out. Keep silent and do nothing. Obviously the question is there to do something, so there have to be some action. Keep silent but introduce the improved product in the future. Again, that's not going to solve the millions of customers who have already bought the product. Fine. So BCD are out. Take the product off the market project. Now that will be a big loss to the customer because, and obviously in the case also they say that they don't want to make it losses for the company. Alright. So most logical answer is A. So that's a typical decision making question which will be getting. Again, these questions are very subjective. You might think answer is A but may end up answer with B. Fine. So don't spend too much time on these questions. Don't waste too much time on these questions because accuracy will be a problem. Moving on to the quant section, that's the typical thing to be seen here. Modern maths and geometry are 8 and 20 questions on modern maths and less on your arithmetic and numbers. So this shows that your modern maths and geometry are much more important than your arithmetic. Fine. So that's the thing to be taken care of in the quant section. Fine. So pause the video. I want you to go through this strong area, weak area, average area and find out your strong, weak areas. Cutoffs, as typical, something to be covered obviously, is XLRI will be around 39. Now again it will be vary every age, but on average it's around 40 marks, you can say, is the XLRI cutoff. SPJN is profile based and non-profile based. Profile based cutoff will be like, if you got a good profile, like you're working for 2-3 years and you got a good 10-12 marks, so obviously you can expect even 30 as a cutoff. If you're a fresher with low academic record, then obviously you need a much better score to clear the cutoff. Next part is how to prepare for the exam. Number one thing I want you to do is do all actual XAT paper. This is very important to cover up the XAT papers. Fine. Second thing is the mocks on our side. There are around 4 mocks on our side which are in line with the XAT papers, so it will be a good idea to work through them. All the mock engineering video, they are very important. Trust me, you can find the mocks everywhere. You guys Google it out, you will find a million of sites giving you free XAT papers. But go through the videos is more important. That will give you the idea about what is coming, what is not coming. Last thing is a decision making thing. So please take care of the decision making topic. Fine, do practice a little bit question on that. Finally, if you want to visit it, go to a site mockengineering.info, so that you can join us, and if you want the mocks and all these things. Alright, thank you.